Alright, so this is Chapter 3, Lesson 1, in creating a new document and setting up a master page. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our file folder and we're going to open up InDesign File 3-1. So we're going to go to our desktop, 3-1, open. Okay, so you're going to get this notification that the document contains 35 links to sources that are missing. You can find or relink these missing links using the links panel. Just push OK, and then it will open. Alright, now it's going to tell us that we are missing a font. We're going to say close, and it'll be alright. Okay, so we have this big thing right here. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to view this in presentation mode. So we're going to do Shift W. Alright. So if you could see my whole screen, you would see that there's more on there. But we're going to exit out because I only have half my screen sharing with you guys. And now we're going to use, I pushed escape to come back out of my presentation mode. And now I'm going to look over here on my side link and I'm going to find my Pages panel. So I have my Pages panel active. Okay. So when you see my Pages panel, you see the full spread for pages 2 through 11. Alright, so we are going to look at spread 4 through 5. So we're going to double click 4 and 5. Okay, and that brings us directly to this spread. Now if I go up here and go to View and go to Fit Page, Fit Spread in Window, excuse me, you'll see that kind of the spread fits in right here. Alright, so that's just how you view a multi-page document. We're just going to go ahead and close that back. I just wanted to show you guys how to do that. And we're not going to save anything. Okay, so next what we are going to do is we're just going to first make sure that we don't have any open documents, which we do not. And next I'm going to go to Edit on the menu bar. And actually that is for if you're on a Windows computer. We are working on Mac, so we'll go to InDesign and then go to Preferences, and we're going to choose Units and Increments. Now, I'm going to look over here in my section right here, and I want to make sure that my horizontal and my vertical both say inches. So I need to change those to inches, and then I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to go to File on the menu bar. I'm going to go to New Document. Alright, and so right up here at the very top of this new document window, we have different intents that we can choose from. And that's just kind of like how you intend to use this file. So we're going to use this file as a print file. So we're going to click print right here. Alright, and now the number of pages. So we're going to type pages, and we're going to type 10 right here. Okay, so we're going to have 10 full pages right there. Verify that pages checking box is clicked, which it is, and then we're going to verify that the start page is set to 1. So we want to make sure we start on page number 1. We're going to change the width to 6.25, so 6.25, and we are going to change the height to 4.75. 4.75, and you just want to verify again. Now we did just change our units to inches, but we just want to make sure it says inches right here. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is make sure that with our measurements that this should automatically highlight. So once we do width here is 6.25 and the height right here is 4.75, that will change our orientation to a landscape orientation because it is wider than it is tall. So we shouldn't have to click that. Okay. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is we want to look at the number of text box columns. So we're going to come right here, so columns, and we're going to increase that to 2. So we want 2 text boxes, or 2 columns in the text box, and then we're going to verify that the gutter box is 0.1667 inches. So we've verified that that's correct right here. The next thing was we want to look at our margins. So our margin section, we're going to have 0.5 in the top margin and make sure that this link is clicked. So if this link is not clicked, if it's a broken link, that means they're not going to match. We do want them all to match though. The next thing we're going to do is we are just going to make sure that, double check, make sure everything looks right. So we should have half-inch margins all the way around, 2 columns with a 0.1667 gutter. We want to start on page 1 of 10 pages and have a width of 6.25 and a height of 4.75. So once you have all of that done, then you can click Create. So now that we have this created and you may not have your Pages panel active. So this is what it should look like generally. And then we are going to click on our Pages panel again. So I'm going to look back at my Pages panel. I'm going to make sure that my active page is right here. This is 1. You can see that it was clicked. My number is clicked. Okay, so that means it's my active page. And it's a single right-hand page, and our page number 10 is going to be a single left-hand page. Okay, so if you look, there's left-hand side, single page on the left-hand side. All right, so what you're going to do next is you're going to push File, and then go to Document Setup, File, Document Setup, Document Setup. Okay, so we get our Document Setup options box right here. So we want to make sure that that we are going to start on page number 2. So we're going to change it so that we actually start on page 2. So we're going to click and start page number, page 2. So this is a quick way that you can make some edits to your document after you've set it up originally and you're like, oh, I don't like the margins, or I don't like certain things. You can change those things right here. So we're going to click to start on page number 2 and then click OK. And see, now what you'll see is we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Technically, this is still 10 pages. It just starts with 2 rather than 1. And what that did is it just created a full page on a full spread on either side for us. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to save our file as setup. So File, Save As, and I'm just going to save mine to my desktop. Please save this wherever you save your assignments for this class. So File, Save As, Setup. Okay, save. Okay, so now we're going to work on modifying the margins and the number of columns on our master page. So we're going to set our workspace to essentials. Now remember, when we set our workspace or change our workspace, we can do that in one of 2 places. We can either go up here to Window, down to Workspace, and choose it here, or we can go to right here beside our light bulb, click the down arrow, and go there. So we are going to change to Essentials. All right, so I'm on Essentials, and I'm going to double click the word A Master on the Pages panel. So I'm going to click Pages, and I'm going to double click A Master. So whenever we look at this, you see that we have 2 different spreads up here in our Master section. We have our A Master, which is what everybody's set on, and we have this None. Okay, so we've double clicked this one, and now that's the only thing that we can see or that's visible in our document. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click Layout and then click Margins and Columns. So Layout, Margins, and Columns. And this is really where we can edit even more of those original settings that we set up in our document. So while we have this active, we're going to change the number of columns to 3. And then we're going to reduce the width of the margin on all 4 sides to 0.125. So we're just going to type in 0.125. And because this link is clicked, when I push Tab, they all are going to automatically update. So once we have this done, we're going to press OK, and you'll see how drastically different that looks. So now we're going to go to File, Save. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add guides to our master page. So these are grid lines and guides that we kind of can put pictures in and make sure everything looks right and it's nice and aligned. So the first thing we're going to do is going to make sure your rulers are showing. Mine are showing, but if they were not, I would go up here to View and go down to Rule. It would say show, let me turn them off. Okay, so it would say show rulers. So we've gone up to View, we've clicked show rulers, now our rulers are back and we can see that. Now we're going to get our selection tool, which our quick key for that is V. Okay, now we have our black mouse, that's our selection tool. And we're going to position the pointer on the horizontal ruler. So that's the ruler that goes left and right, this top one up here. And we're going to click anywhere and we're going to drag down a guide, releasing it anywhere on the page. So if we click on the ruler itself, not below it because that's not going to do anything, but right here, click and drag, okay, you'll see that I have this little blue guy show up. Okay, and I'm just going to release it on the page somewhere. And let me do it. Okay, so I've just released him on my page. And now we're going to click Edit, Undo, Add New Guide. So Edit, Undo, Add New Guide. So you can either do Command Z or get rid of it. Either, oop, I pushed the wrong button. Undo Guide. Edit, Undo Guide. There we go. All right, so that's how you get rid of stuff. You can do Command Z. It's a lot faster. we're going to press and hold Command, and then we're going to drag the guide down from the horizontal ruler. So we're going to press up Command on our keyboard, and then click our ruler and drag down. So the difference between these two rulers, and I'm going to show our guides, and I'm going to show you the other one that we did first, where I just click and drag, is that you see this guide right here, I did Command, and it's on both pages of my spread. Whereas this little guy right here is only on the left-hand side. So I'm going to get rid of him. And now I have dragged down a guide that's going to be the entire length of my spread. Now we are going to change the location of this guide because I want it right at 2.5 inches. So when I click on this guide and I have it active, you see it becomes a darker blue. I'm going to go in my properties section, or my properties panel over here on the right, and I'm going to change the Y, which is the location on the y-axis. Yeah, we're going to use a little math in here, and we're going to type 2.5. So when I type 2.5 in, you see that it moves to 2.5 inches exactly on the keyboard. So if you know that you need something in an exact spot on the keyboard, this is how you would add it. All right, so once we have that, we are going to press Command and then drag a second spread guide. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to put it at 3.5 inches. Now I'm going to try to eyeball it, and you can kind of see right on your mouse that it's going to be on there. Oopsie, I did not do one. So if you let go of your Command key before you release, it will not be. I keep doing it. All right, and I'm just going to change that to 3.5. All right, so you should be right here. Now we're going to go back to our preferences, units, and increments. So click InDesign, Preferences, Units, and Increments. And then we are going to in the Rulers Units section. So we're going to go to Rulers Units. Okay, verify that origin is set to spread. So we want to make sure that says to spread. It does. And we're going to say, okay, now we're going to drag a guide from the vertical ruler on the left side of the document window, and we're going to position it 8.35 inches. So I'm just going to click and grab, and I'm going to try to bring it to where it says 8.35. Oops. All right, see, I'm a little off, so I'm just going to correct that. Press Enter. All right. Using the selection tool, click the first horizontal guide you positioned at 2.5 inches, which is this guy right here. Okay, and we are going to change the location to 3.4. So 3.4, press Enter or Return. All right, and so we're going to position a third horizontal grid guide at 3.25 from the top of the page. All right, so next we're just going to take another one, push Command down, click and drag. Oopsie, are you not active? There we go. Okay, and we're going to go to 3.25, and I'll let go of it again, and I'm just going to change that to 3.25. All right, and so this should be kind of what it looks like. All right, so at this point we're going to save, and I'm limited on the time for each video, so I'm going to save this as part 1.